YouTube, what's good? Welcome to another episode of New York Prison Talks. If you're new to my channel, I ask that you please like and subscribe. I like to send out information and give advice to people that might be facing some time or people that's still inside right now that family members can hear this and send them messages. Today I got a good topic. Some dude had made a comment. He asked me, why is you making videos about the Crips and not about the Bloods? And that actually woke me up because he's right. I didn't make a video about none of the Bloods yet. I mean, I talk about Bloods in every video. I talk about the Bloods all the time. But actually sit and have a whole talk about the Bloods, that's a big discussion right there. It's like, I'm going to say the same way how I said it about the Crips. If you a Blood and you coming up top, you coming to prison, I also feel sorry for you too. Because it's not going to be as many problems as if you were Crip. But just know you're going to be having problems too if you want to gangbang. It's just off the strength of gangbanging, you're just going to have problems. It's like you want to turn Blood. Because like a big crew that's like between 18 and 21 gets sent to prison. It's like a big population number. It's a big number. A lot of them dudes, I was one of them. I was 18, came up top, meaning up north to prison at 18, at 19. I had just turned 19, matter of fact. I had just turned 19, like a couple days, but like after being in prison, I had turned 19. But I got sent up at 18. And it's like, I was one of those dudes that never chose that path. Off the rip, so when they told me I got 8 years to do, I was just thinking my ways to get home as fast as possible because I was not trying to hear that shit. But you got a lot of dudes that like to go up north and want to turn Blood. They want to turn homie. Why? Probably because that's all they probably know. Like I'm telling you, like all the young dudes up there is if you're not Blood, you probably just Latin King or something. Because that's like the other second biggest deep gang in the prisons is the Latin Kings. And it's like, and it's like majority of them is Blood. A lot of dudes is Blood. It's to the point where you just think that every young nigga in prison, every young kid in prison is Blood, just because the way who they associate with, the people they talk to, the way they might carry themselves, you just automatically might think they Blood. Like it was a lot of dudes that I just thought was Blood. It wasn't even Blood. They probably was just from Buffalo or Rochester, just moving how they move though. But they moving like they on Blood time. It's like Bloods is one of the most corrupted gangs, at least in New York. I don't know about these other states. When it comes to being in the prison system, because they like to fight all the time. They like to stab. They like to shoot, meaning cut. They like to cut all the time. Whoever, they go to war with their own peoples. Like I will never understand how it could be sets going against each other. Only thing about the Bloods is like, they just like to recruit. They recruited all the time. They just, any new face, they want to turn them hat. They want to turn them ape. They want to turn them anything. And it's like, you could easily come up top being Blood. That's the easy thing to do. But once you Blood, it's like, that's the hardest thing after that. Because you liable to catch new charges. You automatically gonna be wanting to get into fights. You automatically gonna have to shoot somebody. You automatically just gonna be having the gang bang with your peoples all the time. Always gotta check in with your crew. You always gotta do all that shit. You turning Blood, and you one of them young dudes turning Blood, the first thing you gonna be on deck. If you ain't nobody known, depending on who you are, you one of them young kids, cause it be a lot of dudes that be 18, 19. They got the town weight on them, meaning they skinny. They coming up top skinny and frail. A lot of dudes that been in prison for a while, they got the jail weight on them. They eating more, eating better. Cause in the town, you out here moving a lot more. You not focused on eating like that. Being in prison, that's a part of your schedule. You eating at least 3 times a day. At least 3 times. Out here, you might eat twice a day. Sometimes once. Depending on if you moving, you might forget about eating. Like in jail, that's a schedule. Dudes just have that, just off of going to child. That's part of the schedule. or around those times, dudes get hungry. Every time you go into your cell or every time you go back to your dorm, you dudes is cooking and stuff. You get adjusted to that. Dudes is always eating in prison. That's why a lot of dudes come home with some type of size. They don't even gotta be muscle. They just came back stocky or something because they eating all day long in prison. And you could be one of them dudes. I got a train coming behind me. You could be one of them dudes that's 18, 19, frail, and you want to turn blood because you probably scared. And now you turn blood, and the first thing one of your big homies might tell you to do is you on deck, meaning you gotta put in some type of work. Whether you the safety, whether you gotta shoot somebody and it's a safety backing you up, something like that. And that's how a lot of dudes get caught up as soon as they turn blood, because they don't know what they doing, and they on deck, and they want to try to shoot somebody. They want to cut somebody, and they don't know how to get away with that shit. They don't know how to get away with that shit. Dumbasses. And they just want to get, and then they get caught, and then it's over. You go into a whole nother facility. You ain't seeing none of them dudes that turn you blood again. You might probably a few years later if y'all end up in the same jail or the same box some type of way, because that be happening. But them dudes that you was just gangbanging with in that jail, you ain't seeing them for a while, because now you going to the box. Soon you go to the box, you most likely going to a whole brand new facility, a whole brand new jail. And now you gotta say who you are to them niggas to get set, and you just meeting a whole bunch of other new dudes all the time. Like, dudes is in and out of the box if you gangbanging, if you definitely blood too. Cause that's all that be, just mad blood. Just they cut somebody, get caught with the charge, then they go to the box, and now they fighting the whole case in the courts. That shit get whacked. Now you gotta do more time added onto your sentence, all because you wanted to be blood. Like, Bloods is worse. Bloods is worse. I say Crips is worse just due to the fact that it's not many of them, and it's like they just don't have numbers like that. And it's just like they always just gotta worry about avoiding getting into problems. That's the only thing bad about Crips. I'm telling you, if it was more Crips up top, like way more Crips, it gotta be like a lot more Crips. Cause the way it be in every jail, it just be like 70%, 65% of all the gangs be blood. And if, like, I'm telling you, if it was more Crips in prison, it would be less problems with the Crips, meaning less more of them trying to get into fights and shit like that. Cause I know on the island it's different. It's different on the island. A lot of dudes say it all the time. It's different on the island. But when you come up top to jail, when you come up top to prison, it's like, if you Crip, it's like just a whole bunch of problems with you trying to avoid getting into fights and cuttings. But I'm telling you, if it was more Crips up top, they would be surviving more. They just not deep at all. That's the only problem. There's just too many Bloods. It's like all them dudes just want to turn blood for no reason. I don't understand that. And then there's just so many sets within the Bloods that you gotta just learn all different type of shit. There's too many languages you gotta know. When it comes to being blood and being a homie, you gotta look out for your homies. Sometimes it depends, maybe on your set. If you got a lot of hounds around you, something that you have, you always gotta be sharing your food and shit. You gotta send the love. Always gotta send love. You can't deny your homie shit. You can't deny your homie food. You can't deny the homie anything, really. And it just be so many gangs that like to fight. That's blood. So many sets. It's like, it's too many. I can't even name them. They said blood started on Rikers Island, like in mid-90s. I don't really want to say the exact year. I know the exact year. But in mid-90s, they started blood. And ever since that, it just got deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's like, it just to the point where a lot of Bloods like to run the phones. Bloods done destroyed that, and I don't know, in every jail they could have made. I haven't been in prison in 2 years, so I don't know exactly what be going on. But Bloods destroyed shit when it comes to phones, meaning, and I don't know about every jail is like this, but a few of them that I've been in, a lot of police like to run the phones now, meaning like you got to give your ID to police. And they gonna call your name, use the phone and shit. It used to be just anybody could get on the phone, but Bloods be running the phone so much. This is why Bloods be deep and shit. And a lot of dudes don't like Bloods and shit, because they might have 5, 6, 7 phones that's Bloods, and then within the Bloods sets, you got the different sets that got their own phone. And all they doing just keep passing it to their homie, keep passing it to their homie, keep passing it to the homie. If you from Brooklyn and you blood, that's like a double on you. You got the Brooklyn line and it's a bloodline. You feel me? It's like Rochester and blood. It's like all together. They stick together. It's like when it comes that with the phones, it's like that. A lot of dudes like to like just get the bag. They like to get drugs in the jail. A lot of dudes become big homies like that. When you like to get the bag and shit, your name get up there. And you a big homie, you a big blood, your name getting up there. Cause that could be trouble too though. Because if you big homie and you getting the bag and dudes is paying attention, dudes start getting jealous and they start hating on you. That's how dudes want to tell, by dropping a slip on the low. They want to drop a slip. Next thing you know, you getting a cell search. Police know you a big homie. They know, they see everything. They pay attention to everything. And that, by the way, anything I say, it's already been put out there. The Department of Corrections already know everything. The judicial system already know everything. It's nothing new that I'm saying. I'm just saying it in my own way. I'm just looking at it how I've seen shit, and I already know what's going on, and I'm just making my channel. That's all it is. Anything I say is nothing new. It's been out there for years. And it's like, if you trying to get the bag and you a big homie, there's be a lot of problems. That's just a lot of problems because dudes were telling you might have other gangs. I'm just saying, you might have other gangs that might want to drop a slip on you, or dudes that see you making too much and living too good that might try to do you out. I wouldn't be surprised if your own little homie dropped the kite on you, dropped the slip on you on the low, just because he don't like you or something like that. Word, that's how it could be. It'd be dangerous. I seen little homies shoot they big homie. Like on some, I'm gonna join this set. Now they telling me, cause some shit might have just happened between the two sets, and now I'm about to turn a whole different set. But that set want me to shoot my big homie. Now you gotta shoot your big homie. Big homies be getting shot up top, like that's a fact. Just cause you a big blood or big Crip. I'm not gonna really talk about the Crips because everybody know what will be going on with the Crips. But if you a big blood, I don't really know too much about the Kings like that either. But if you a big blood, I seen a lot of big bloods, a lot of big homies get shot. Like that status don't be meaning nothing up top. Oh, he's a big homie. Them niggas be getting clipped too. The same way how a Crip nigga could get clipped, a big blood, a big homie could get clipped the same way. It doesn't matter. We all human. If somebody's gonna get you, they gonna get you. They gonna get you. It doesn't matter. If they mindset is on, I want to shoot him as soon as I come out, and they got a whole premeditated lineup on you, that's just gonna happen. Some people that's in prison don't be giving a fuck who you are. Like, this is real shit. Some dudes don't be caring who you are, and you locked up, and you might be a big homie, you might be somebody that's getting the bag, and they don't care, and they will just cut you. Off the strength that I don't care about who you are. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of your little homies. I'm never going home. This is my lifestyle, and this is how I bang on my terms. Those type of dudes. It's dudes that's really like that. That's not pussy, like to the max. That they know that they never going home. And they know that no matter what they do, they still not going home. No matter how the good they stay, they still not going home. No matter how many times they go to court, no matter how many times they want to stab somebody, it doesn't matter because you could add all the charges onto them. They still not going home. And it's a lot of dudes like that, especially in those maxes, especially the ones that got life and they new and confused. And they don't have nothing else to do. And they just want to just join the game because they 18, 19 and they know they got 20 to 25 years on their back. You know? And so they want to join the gang, and they want to join the wrong gang. When I say wrong gang is, if you want to join blood, that's not. If anything, I'd rather be king, because I'm just saying, because like the bloods be getting into all type of shit every fucking day. Like every time you step out your cell, every time it's program time, every time it's just type of movement to release dudes out of their cell and area. it's guaranteed something to go on. Like, it's guaranteed something that's popping off with the Bloods. It just be because it's just so many dudes that just blood, and you don't know who be blood all the time. You just be seeing so many new faces. Every jail, it might, I mean, not every jail, every day it might be a new faces you see coming from different jails or just coming up top, and they might not know much, and they end up talking to the wrong dude, and now they ended up talking to the wrong dude, so now they gonna turn blood because they let one of the Bloods gas their head up, thinking like, yo, that's my mans, yo, you my nigga, and yo, turn blood, and now you turning blood. Now you learning about a whole another type of world. You gotta learn their lingo. You gotta learn the calls. You gotta learn just how to move. And by you learning how to move, that's gonna be a bad decision. Cause once you get adapted to moving like that, you always gonna be thinking like that. You wanna turn blood and shoot somebody off the rip, you liable to get caught with that hammer. Because you might have to shoot somebody, and now you got a safety that's gonna help you. Now the safety could either do two things. We could do three things. The safety is somebody that's basically, as soon as you shoot somebody, you can either pass the hammer off to the safety, or the safety could follow up and pop on that dude that you just cut while you trying to get away with your gun, with your hammer, with your scalpel, whatever you got. You trying to get away. So I seen the safeties get beat up. I seen the safeties get a new charge because the police thought that was the dude that cut him. Now, so being a safety is another dangerous thing. You might be on deck as the safety. I seen dudes say, nah, I ain't doing it. You know what they did? That they told that they wasn't doing it to? They clipped him. They shot him. Word? You ain't trying to be Ola? You ain't trying to be blood? What you mean you ain't being a safety? This is what you oathed in. Like, this is what you was gonna do. Like, this is part of the plan. You feel me? Now you making decisions on if you want to do it or not. You want to be the safety or not, or if you want to cut him or not, or if you want to pop on the dude or not. These are decisions you making when you contemplating in your cell. Every time you step out your cell, you thinking, because when everybody goes in their cell, you automatically fighting demons. I said this already. You automatically fighting demons. Why? Because it's like you just knowing that you got a lot of time to do, or you just gotta do time, period. You just knowing that every time you go out, back out your cell, you still locked up. You can't get the prison out of you. It's hard, especially when you live in it. You always looking at bar cells. You always looking at a 13-inch screen TV. The cell might be dirty. The beds is hard. You know, all that type of shit. The beds be hurting your back. You gotta be having a good mattress. The mattress might be all lumpy and stuff. The pillows might be too flat. These are problems in your cell. And all you trying to do is get comfortable. That's all you trying to do is get comfortable. So I could just imagine how the Bloods be when they gotta be on deck and they knowing they gotta shoot somebody when they walk out they cell. A lot of dudes don't be knowing shit. A lot of dudes don't be knowing how to move, or when they go out they cell. They just automatically just want to pop. A lot of Bloods like to pop on dude. I seen this happen all the time. Sometimes you got no choice but to do it, because that might be the only time you could get him. But a lot of dudes, I can't say just Bloods. A lot of dudes, period, like to pop in front of dudes in front of the C.o. because they know the C.o. might break it up fast. Well, it's not going to be broken up that fast. Because that C.o. that's calling it in, he just going to call it in. He might try to scare you and, hey, stop, pull a stick out, might try to act like he hit, but he going to wait from the other 10 officers. They going to be there in like a minute or two, running heavily. All of them be fat. All of them C.o.s be fat, out of breath, running. By the time they get there, they too out of breath. So they going to try to pepper spray you or something if you're not breaking up the fight. But a lot of dudes like to pop on other dudes in front of the C.o.s. Sometimes, like I said, that might be the only way you could get them. Because that's the only time you, because a lot of times when you walk in with your housing unit and a max or something like that, you escorted by police. And that's how a lot of houses be seeing each other. And the C.o.s got to be escorting them. And that's the only time. You catch them on a blind spot, it's over. You catch anybody on a blind spot where police is not there, there's nobody around, you could get a nigga exactly how you want to get him for however long you get him. That's dangerous. Being in prison is dangerous. Just knowing that every time you step out your cell, you might not know. You gonna know majority after you've been a while in the prison. You gonna know majority of who's who in jail. Like who's blood, who's king, who's three-bo, you know, who's Muslim, shit like that. You gonna know the faces. Who rapos, who's the homos, all that shit. But you enter a new jail, brand new faces where you just same circus, different clowns. And you just looking at these dudes like, I don't know who he is. I don't know who he's blood. You just gonna assume everybody's blood. I swear. Because that's how I was doing it. I was looking at all these dudes as blood. Because you got a very few dudes that's Latin King, that's black. It's very few. I didn't see too many of them. But a lot of them dudes that was black, that was LK, they knew Spanish. They definitely knew Spanish. And it's like, I also even label some of them as blood or something. Cause you just don't know who's who. You don't know. Like I said, I used to have bloods walk up to me just because I ain't really associate with the bloods as soon when I come to the new jail or something, cause I don't know what type of time they on. I don't know what type of time they on at all. And they would walk up to me and ask me, yo, you gangbanging? Yo, you blood? And I would just look at them like, fuck is you asking me that question for? You know? And they looking at me back like, well, what's up? You gangbanging, you blood, what's good? And I just look at them, still looking at them funny, and then I'll be like, nah, my nigga, I'm not. What's good? Like, fuck it, like, what is you asking me that shit for? You feel me? You just want to automatically walk up to, they wanted to find out, basically they wanted to find out if I was the ops. If I was blood, or if I was Crip or something. Basically, because if I said I was Latin King, they wouldn't care. If I said I was three-bo or any type of other gang, they wouldn't care. But if I said I was Crip, like, this is facts. If I said about, like this is real shit. I'm not trying to hate on those so on the Crip, but this is facts. And I can only say, I can't talk about the island. So dudes like to compare about the island to prison. I can't compare that shit. If you go up top and you saying you Crip up top, you automatically gonna get popped on. Like, that's a fact. You might not get popped on there and there. You could. But you gonna get popped. Something's gotta give. Because they not gonna walk around seeing a sand crawler. That's what they call a Crip, the sand crawlers. Just walking around every day feeling comfortable. Because you gonna have other homies. You always gonna have that one homie. Always gonna have that one blood. That's gonna be like, why is he living in here? Why is he staying in here? Why is he in his house living with y'all? And then you got the homies, I seen this happen, you got the homies that be like, oh, he's cool, niggas fuck with him, I'm not jacking that, shoot him or something gotta give. Something gotta give. For real, it be like that. Cause it might be, like, I seen this happen a very select few times where the Crip might have been living. He might have been living. A lot of dudes fuck with him, he was Crip on the low. But some of the bloods knew. Some of the bloods, because you got all type of bloods. You got some bloods that be just trying to turn blood just because they needed support. You got some bloods that really want to turn blood because they like that gangbanging shit. And you got some bloods that just wanted to be blood because they got gassed up and they ain't had no other choice. And they just was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to turn blood. And when you got them type of bloods that want to turn, that be like, all right, I'm just gonna turn homie because that's all I know. Don't be the type of bloods that is scary. They the type of ones that's scary just off the fact that you don't know if they really gonna jack the blood shit or not. When it's time to go, when it's go time, that's the only way you gonna know. But if you got one of these bloods that might be fake, like he a snake type shit, like he know he's Crip but he not saying nothing, like that's snaking. He's not saying nothing, you feel me? He's letting it rock out. And then you got a real official blood nigga that just pulls up into the spot. And he be like, he finds out that dude is Crip. It's gonna be problems. Because majority of the time, when you pull up to a spot, you pull up to a new house or new block or something, or a new jail, you gonna get the scoop of what's in what's in this jail, who's in this block, like what's going on. Any Crips in? That's a lot of like I be hearing that all the time. Yo, any Crips in here? You got a lot of Bloods that like to act like they Crip to see if a Crip is gonna respond to that shit. They be like, yo, what's cracking? Yo. They might talk a little. I don't know the Crip lingo, but they might say a little bit of the Crip. I seen this on the drive bus. They might say a little bit of the Crip lingo, just to see they Crip. I never seen what happens after a Crip like will respond to that. I never seen that happen, but I could just imagine what would happen. You know, because majority of them dudes that be acting like they Crip, that's blood, they do that for a reason. I'm just saying, if you blood, it's not cool. It's not cool either, because it's more dangerous. You're gonna be getting into more trouble. The police is always gonna be on you, because he's gonna be looking at you. Look at that fucking blood or something like that. You're gonna be gangbanging. You're gonna be having that on paper. You're gonna be labeled as a gangbanger on paper, just because of the strength that police be knowing who's who in every jail. When it comes to the Bloods, they definitely gonna be knowing who you are. They gonna be, because everybody got their own areas. You got dudes, a lot of Bloods that got a lot of their own tables in the yard. Like, they like to run their phones. They got a lot of their little spots that they stay at. And the police know everything. They know who's who in every area, what's in every area. They know. And they see you hanging out with the same people, or they might see you shout it out to one of the homies. Yo, top of the morning, do one of them gang signs or something. They gonna write that down on paper. They might not say nothing. You got some police that will say something. That might write you a ticket for throwing up gang signs or something, like some dumbass shit. I remember I caught a ticket for throwing up a gang sign just because I went like this. I just said, yo, what's good, bro? Caught a ticket like that. Dumbass shit. I ended up beating the ticket because it wasn't, dude, they couldn't prove that it was some gangbanging shit. And they knew on paper, they had it on paper that I wasn't gangbanging and all that shit. So I ended up beating that shit. But you throwing up symbols like that, like you had, or you just, like you ape or some shit like that, they gonna be paying attention. They might, like, all police might not pay attention to that. But you got some that might say something and some that will. Some that will not. If you one of them type of dudes, hey, don't gangbang in prison. Because you automatically gonna be having to deal with dudes all the time, fighting your own people. You might have to fight other type of gangs. You gotta worry about if a new Crip pull up. You gotta worry about trying to always get your homies on the phone. You gotta always worry about just protecting your set and all of that shit. Protecting blood, period, in general. And if you one of those people that like to live that lifestyle and feel like you could do it, go ahead. I'm just saying, best route to take, just mind your own business, stay neutral, and go home as quick as possible. Because when you don't gangbang, you're going to have less problems. You're going to have to worry about less. You're going to have to, when you don't gangbang, you're going to know that, you definitely knowing that you ain't got to step out your cell knowing you got to shoot somebody because somebody told you to shoot somebody. That shit is whack. That shit is super whack. I would never have somebody tell me, yo, you got to shoot him before we go back inside. Before the yard is over, you got to shoot him. That's a dub. I would never have nobody ever tell me or talk to me like that. I will never have somebody tell me to do something I don't want to do. I've been moving the same way I've been moving my whole entire life, and that's never going to change. It's never going to change. Yeah, I adapted to a lot of shit. I ain't have no choice but to adapt. This is life. I'm human. I can't just be doing everything I want to do. That's how I ended up getting locked up. I can't just be going outside thinking I'm just invincible and shit like that. But I would never have somebody in prison or out here, I don't care who you are, is going to tell me to want to shoot somebody or cut somebody or make me want to do something that I don't want to do. And that's what a lot of dudes do in jail, and they catch new charges off that dumbass shit. So if you blood, I just tell you, stop gangbanging. Or if you, not even that, if you trying to turn blood and you know you about to get locked up and you think you don't want to turn blood, listen to this video. Because this is going to tell y'all a lot about how to just avoid that shit. This is gonna tell you a lot about to think twice about the shit I just said, because that gangbanging shit is whack. It's really whack. If you want to do all of that shit, go ahead by any means. I thank y'all for all coming to my channel. Once again, please like and subscribe if you jacking my channel. Have a good day. Take care, YouTube.